Once upon a time, in a big forest full of tall trees and bushes, there lived many animals. There were squirrels who gathered nuts for the winter, deer who grazed on green grass, birds that sang beautiful songs, and rabbits who loved to hop around looking for tasty carrots. One evening, as the sun was setting, a little rabbit named Ralph decided to go for a walk in the forest. He hopped along happily until he came to a place where all the paths looked the same. Suddenly, it got dark, and Ralph realized that he was lost. He didn't know which way to go, so he sat down under a big tree and started to cry. Meanwhile, in another part of the forest, a friendly owl named Ollie was flying back to his nest after hunting for food. As he flew past the tree where Ralph was sitting, he noticed the little rabbit looking lost and sad. "Oh dear," thought Ollie, "that poor little rabbit needs help." Ollie landed softly on a nearby branch and called out to Ralph. "Hello, little one. Are you lost?" asked Ollie in his gentle voice. Ralph wiped away his tears and said, "Yes, I'm afraid I am. I don't know how to get back to my burrow." Ollie thought for a moment and then said, "Don't worry, Ralph. I'll help you find your way home. Follow me, and we'll go together." And so, with Ollie leading the way, Ralph hopped after him through the dark forest, feeling safe and warm. As they walked, they saw many other animals going about their evening business. There were fireflies glowing in the trees, bats flying around catching insects, and foxes sniffing for food on the ground. But none of them paid any attention to Ralph and Ollie as they made their way through the forest. After a while, they came to a clearing where a small stream flowed peacefully under a bridge made of sticks. Ollie stopped and said, "This is as far as I can go, Ralph. The path beyond this stream leads to your burrow." Ralph thanked Ollie for his help and promised to come visit him soon. And with that, he hopped across the bridge and down the path towards his home, feeling grateful for his new friend who had helped him when he needed it most. As Ralph disappeared into the darkness, Ollie flew back to his nest, content in knowing that he had made a new friend and helped someone in need. And so ended another day in the big forest, with all its friendly animals going about their lives under the glow of the fireflies. Good night, little one. Sleep tight, and remember, a friend in need is a friend indeed. As Ralph hopped along, he noticed the stars twinkling in the sky above him. He couldn't help but feel happy and safe knowing that he was not alone in the forest. Suddenly, he heard rustling in the bushes nearby, fearing it might be a predator. Ralph froze for a moment before realizing it was just a family of squirrels gathering nuts for the winter. He watched as they scampered up and down the trees, chattering away to each other. Feeling more at ease, Ralph continued on his way until he reached a clearing where he saw a group of deer grazing peacefully on the grass. They looked up when they heard him approach and watched curiously as he hopped past them. Ralph smiled to himself, thinking about how different these animals were from each other, but all lived together in harmony. As he neared his burrow, he started to feel tired from his adventure. Just then, he noticed a bird singing the prettiest song he had ever heard. It was so beautiful that it lulled Ralph into a gentle slumber, and he fell asleep right there in the forest, dreaming of his new friends and their kindness to him when he needed them most. Good night, little one. Sleep tight and remember, in this big, wonderful world, there are always people or animals who will help you when you need it most. As Ralph slept, the forest around him came alive with activity. The birds sang their sweet melodies. The squirrels scurried up and down the trees gathering nuts, and the deer grazed peacefully on the lush grass. Even the nocturnal animals like owls and bats were out hunting for food. Suddenly, there was a rustling in the bushes nearby, and Ralph felt a gentle tap on his shoulder. He opened his eyes to see a friendly squirrel looking down at him. "Good morning, little one," chirped the squirrel. "It's time for you to wake up." Ralph yawned and stretched before standing up on his hind legs and shaking the sleep from his body. As he looked around, he realized that he had slept right next to a group of mushrooms. They were all different sizes and colors, and some even glowed in the dark. "What big eyes you have," said Ralph, noticing one particularly large mushroom. "And what sharp teeth you have too," he added, spotting another with long, pointy spines. The friendly squirrel laughed at Ralph's joke and then scampered up a nearby tree. Just then, Ralph heard a loud crashing sound coming from deeper in the forest. He knew it couldn't be good. Ralph hurried towards the noise, his heart pounding with worry. As he got closer, he saw a family of rabbits trapped in a hole dug by some hungry foxes. Without hesitation, Ralph hopped over to help them. Together, they pushed and pulled at the loose dirt until they finally managed to free the terrified bunnies from their prison. As they scampered away into the safety of the forest, Ralph let out a sigh of relief. Feeling proud of himself, Ralph hopped back towards his burrow when he heard a familiar voice call out to him. "Ralph, is that you?" It was Ollie the owl. "Ollie," exclaimed Ralph, running over to give his new friend a hug. "I'm so glad I met you last night." And with that, the two friends flew off into the dawn, ready for another adventure in their wonderful forest home.